And it says, I'm live. So, here we go. Hi, everybody. This is going to be a live video chat show where we do arts and crafts for adults because we use sharp things like scissors and needles and heat guns and dangerous electrical items. But we're also a chat room where we interact and talk to each other all night as much as we can because we like to do that. And I'm going to try to get me up here on my, and there I am. There we are. There you go. So the chat room is just exploding. Exploding. So hi, everybody. Let's go. Wow. Two swipes up. Okay, so we have Margaret and Juju and Angie and Ginger and Pam. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Glad to see you in the room tonight. There's Teresa. Okay, good to see you. Oh, y'all just talking away. Going to be in the balcony, Teresa. Okay, keep everybody in line up there. All right. So, how are you? You all just chitty chatty. There's Patty. Hi, Patty. I'm glad to see you here. Glad to see everyone here. And Bonnie's here. I got stampings from Bonnie and Margaret both. I better show them off before I forget. Hi, Candy. Howdy do. And there's Kathy. Good to see you. All right. Um, Before I forget, I wanted to show off uh, some of these stamps. Aren't those cute? I get to keep the ones on the envelopes. I love the girls in the hats. That is so cute. This is from Bonnie. So let me open it real quick. We are in the middle of a stamp trade. If you have not mailed your stamps, today's the last day to get them in the mail. Please get them in the mail. If you have not sent yours yet, and you plan on sending them, you need to message me so that I can mark you on my list to watch for, because I am getting ready. I'm getting ready to divvy them out. I'm on the line, the borderline. I know Goldie and Laura Beth are sending theirs. They're in the mail somewhere. Haven't got Linda's yet. I don't think I got Linda's. She sent me something though. She sent me some Happy Mail. Lori and Sandy and Angela and Constance and I think that's about Leah. There's Leah and Cindy. So I'm looking for their stamps. Dana said she was mailing hers today, and I think Doritha said she had already mailed hers. So that's good. There's going to be a few more coming in. I'm waiting on a few more coming in before I actually do the divvying up. So we're in good shape, but we're almost ready to get them out. And oh, this one was Bonnie's. I was showing you hers first. So I'm so glad you all are here with me this evening. So she put them all up in a nice little, in a protection case. So let's see what she sent. Oh, looky! Oh, if there's 6 of these, that means I get one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm definitely going to get one of these because I give you guys before I would give to me. But look at that little girl. Look at all the other women. And look at this fairy. She's cute. We needed her the other day on a fairy prompt. I'm okay, really, I am. And it's a turtle upside down. Those are nice, Bonnie. And she put her name on them like she's supposed to. Good girl. So I'm going to be the next few times I stream, I'm going to be looking through everybody's envelopes and making sure I've got their stamps and their names on them. You know, I'm going to go through all of them before I start dividing anything up. And then these here are some from Margaret, and she stamped them out, and I'm going to be cutting these apart and using some of these. And these will be extras in your stash. These are but Margaret sent me a whole bunch of these stamps, and I don't know where she got these stamps, but they're different. Of course, I love the hat. And the hat is a trash can. I want you to look at the hat. It's a trash can. So they're modern, what I would call modern art. Would that be modern art? And expression stamps. So those are cool. So everybody will be getting some of these. And I may not be able to send the whole sheet, but I would definitely cut out all the good ones for you guys. And you never know. One of the prompts might mean, you know, you might need to find a handsome gentleman on the prompt page. You just never know. Now this one is a scene, and it's pretty. I love that green ink. She's got that green ink, and it's a scenery. It's water and a house, something on the river. And then this little girl's cute. These are all from Margaret. Good job, Margaret. And I think this is an egg. Now, I don't know what this part is, but I'm sure that you could probably cut that out a little bit. Bessie, cut that out and then put it over top of another picture. There's flowers, and there's a couple of birds in there, and there's a butterfly, a garden. So that is kind of cute. That'd be good to work with. Get your art going in with that one. So it looks like there's plenty of those. There's some more of these girls. Everybody will get a girl. And we're back to her. So thank you, Margaret, for all of that. That's a lot. That's a lot of paper there, girl. She sent me the paper, and it's on cardstock, so it'll be easy to. I'll just cut them out, make squares, cut some of these out, and they're going to go free-handedly into your envelopes. So I had this book out the other day, and I wanted to get the tie-ties put back on, and it just takes me a minute to do that. Here's the tie-tie. I don't know what I guess there it is. It tied to this one, I think. Or to this one. I'm not real sure what it ties to. There it goes. Here we go. Now we're talking. I think this book is a do-si-do book, and I made it with Lisa Conway, and I ended up making my robe. I love doing that. I learned how to do this from a gentleman from England, and he was making his string, his cordage, to use on his bow and arrow. And this was the recipe or the directions on how to make a bow. But you would use, instead of embroidery thread, you would use a fine cordage for strong for a bow and arrow. And but anyway, this is the same technique, and I tied it up here on my desk, and I made this right here on. I made it right in here. So it took me a few minutes to do it all. But anyway, this cordage goes on to this book, and I'm just going to wrap it around a few times and tie a bow to hold this book together. My do-si-do book, but it opens up this way, and then it opens up this way, and then it opens up again this way. So you got two facing this way and one facing the opposite way, and it would be a great book uh, if you're traveling, if you need if you need to keep your receipts, or you want to keep track of your mileage, or it's got several signatures in each one and so there's a lot of ways that you could use this uh, on a vacation, and or in your home. You've got your appointments. You could put daily, weekly, and monthly. There's three areas to do that, and I don't journal. I'm more of a glue book person, so I would be glue booking in this. But I made it, and it's a really cool book, and I really, really like it. So there it is. So I've been playing with paper dolls a little bit because that's going to be our next swap. And I've started coloring this girl, and I started it last night. I was on with Becca, and she was doing the 100-day challenge, and we were finished with whatever we were doing. And oh no, we did our tandem 10 last night, which is a game that we do once a month with Becca and Dana. And the tandem 10 is the same 10 items. It's another prompt game, and we send each other the same exact items, and we open them up at the same time, and we make different pages, and our pages are so different. Hi, Angela. She says, check your audio. Can you not hear me? My voice is scratchy. Can you not hear me? Very good. I see you. I'm looking. And I think I might know what it is. I was pulling on my camera wire yesterday, and I bet I pulled this. Now, is the sound very better? Any better there? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
I'm underwater. Heavens to Betsy.
Underwater. She ain't underwater yet.
I'm swimming. I don't know. Does that help? I was pulling on this wire yesterday.
Oh my.
I know. Hello, everybody coming in.
Hello, hello.
Hi, Lenore. Lenore was in our room last night, and she's new, guys. You all say hello to say hello.
Hello, Nora. This is Joe.
Lenore. Lenore.
Lenore.
Lenore.
Lenore.
Lenore. Lenore.
Lenore.
We can hear, but there's a lot of static. Okay, you sit still, and we'll go out and come back in and see if that helps. If not, I'll have to start a new stream. So don't go nowhere. I'm going to go out and come in. Hopefully, I can do it without messing anything up. I think I can.
I think you can.
How about that? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Do you hear what I hear? Do you hear what I hear? A star, a bright and shiny star. Okay, great. Okay, I didn't have to start over. All right. I hope I didn't lose anybody. I'm sorry. We've been having quite a bit of storms lately and a lot of thunder. A lot of thunder. Thunder and lightning. So I'll make it up to you guys. I'll make it up to you. So, anybody have any complaints now? Okay. Hi, Linda. Linda, have you already sent me your stamps? Butter rolls is in the mail. I haven't gotten in. I didn't get any in the mail today, so I should get a whole slew tomorrow. So I'm just looking for some that are already in the mail, and then I'll be dividing them up. But anyway, this is what we did in our tandem 10 art last night. We each got the same 10 items, and we each had a different thing to do. But we all did dolls. Everybody did dolls. It was fun. It was fun. So if you want to go back and watch Dana on Dana's channel for last night, that's what we did. And then we did some Twinchies games. We did some Twinchies. And if you don't know what a Twinchie is, well, it's it's 2 inches by 2 inches is a Twinchie. And you decorate the Twinchie. And I have a Twinchie book. You don't have to get this book. You can make your own 2 inch by 2 inch in your art books. You know, unless you're really serious about it, then you want to get this book. But we did all of this last night. It was mushrooms, beach, and drips. So I did rainbow drips. So, but that's a Twinchie. We did that last night. It was a lot of fun. If you want to go back and watch some of that on Dana's channel, that would be good. So now, I was next month we'll be making paper dolls, and so I was making some dolls last night and today, and so I've got some. This came out of a doll book, a coloring book, so you can make your paper dolls out of anything. This was a paper doll book that that was given to me by Sharon. Where's Sharon tonight? And there's some extra paper dolls clothes in here, so I made some extra dolls, and I just made a copy of her, and then I glued it on cardstock, and then I've got some clothes here to cut out to make some more paper dolls. So I'm gonna put this away for now because that's for next month. And if I work on it, periodically, I'll eventually get it done. So I have a few things on my desk, and I thought I might um, gather these things that I have on my desk. Put my pencils away, and I thought I would gather them, and maybe I can do it an art page and show you what you do with your leftover things on your art pages. How to make an art page with everything on your desk. So I've got some tissue paper, I've got a little bit of fabric, I've got some Happy Mail, and another piece of a doily, an airmail envelope. Might be able to decorate that envelope and put some of these things in the envelope. That one might be a good idea to do. But I'm going to wait and do this maybe at last if I have enough time I can play with all of this happy now. And there's a feather, a little piece of napkin, and a money envelope. So there might be something there that I can use, play with. So I'm just going to put a clip on that and put that over here to the side. So if we get time, we will do that. I got a new project tonight that I wanted to show you, and I did have a piece of paper that had all what I was going to do tonight. I have no idea where my paper is. Oh, here it is, underneath. Okay, so I do have a to-do list here tonight. So, but one of the things I wanted to show you all, Michelle Glitter, she uh, she sent me an email or a message, and she says, "This looks like it's fun." And I said, "It does. It looks fun." So you use black paper. So you have to have, you could probably get by with brown paper, and we could even try it. I've got some cardstock paper down here. If this is cardstock and this is cardstock, so we could even try it on the brown paper. But you use your stamps and you use bleach. So you have to, now this is an adult, this is for mature adults. You have to be very careful when you're fooling around with bleach. You don't want to get, I've got two fans on, so I'm good with the ventilation. And you don't want to get fumigated. So what I'm going to do is I've got a lid, and I'm going to take, thought I had a spoon. I'm going to take my little spoon, and I'm going, this is just regular household bleach. This is definitely too much. I only need a couple of tablespoons, teaspoons, or spoonfuls over on this flat area right here. This is all you really need, just this much right there. So this can go back into the bathroom and or pour it in the commode. So I'm just spreading it out to the bottom of my lid, and it just so happens to be the lid that I have. It's not it's just what I have. So I have several stamps here. So we're going to do some on the black and some on the brown and see if it works. So we'll try the bicycle, and you literally dip it into the bleach. Have no idea if it's going to make a mess, if it's going to do it or not. And I'm just kind of dripping it off a little bit, and I'm going to press onto the paper. So, everybody doing okay? There it is. Now it's a little soupy, so I'm not going to dip it back in, but I'm going to press again like it's got extra ink on it. So you can thank Michelle. Where is she? Go and get Michelle. Tell her to get in here. Oh, that one's much better. The first one has a lot on there, and the second one looks like it's going to be just fine. So I'm going to do it again. I might need to tap it off. So we're going to do it again on the brown. Oh, yes, you could do it on fabric. Now I can see some of the spokes over here, and we'll do it again, a second one. Yes, you could do it on any kind of material. That one's perfect. Look, you can see the spokes of the bicycle. So I don't know how to get the extra off, except maybe just have Maybe you just need a scrap piece of paper to do that on first to get most of it off, just a scrap piece of paper. And then you can go over here on the good paper. Bonnie, you have to have supervision before you can use the bleach. Bonnie has to have supervision. She had a little bit of a bleach accident last week. It was quite funny, but it wasn't funny. So there we go. And you can see it bleaching the black right here. You can see that. Let's see here. So I'm not sure what's going on with my iPad. Has I was watching he was remodeling a country home, and that's what it still said on my iPad, but I could see my hands. So I don't know what the deal is there. So let's go back over here and see if I can find me again. Get in here. YouTube's just acting funny. That's all there is to it. No, it won't come up. It still won't come up. Okay, I will do this. Close out a bunch of those tabs. But you could still see it on the brown too. So we'll see. So let's look for me again. I'm trying to get my chat up here. Here we go. Now it's working. Okay. So let's see. Esther's here and Diane's here. Woohoo! Okay, so I did the bicycle, and I'm just going to get a paper towel or something to get the bleach off of this. I've got my play clothes on, so there's no worry. So I did that one. And then I don't know if I can do this in this tray or not. It's too big. But let's see if I could use a brush. Let's see if I can use one of my brushes here. So we're experimenting. And this is a really nice fan brush, but I use it in paint and I leave it in the water at all times, and it looks fine. It's a nice paintbrush. So I don't mind putting it in the bleach. It might bleach out my brushes. I'm trying to paint it on there. It's not really doing real good. I need to put it on a flat tray. I can't tell that it's going to do it or not. So that may not be a good idea. We'll try it once. So, well, hi, Laura. I do giggle sometimes. I like to giggle. Oh, it worked out. Look, it worked out. And I've used the paintbrush. I don't know that I needed to dab it off, but it worked. So let's do it again on the black. It did it. It's a new experiment. We're playing. And you could even do some brush marks if you want to get fancy and do brush fans. If you need to cut a fan out for your a doll or something, you might be able to do a brush design. I don't know. I don't know. It looks like a rainy cloud to me. Okay, let's try this one. Let's try it. So, uh, oh, a sponge. Well, Bonnie, you just might have a good idea. And I just know where a sponge is that I can use. And it did work on the black. It sure did. We've got, we let me get a sponge. Let me get over here so this one won't get smushed. That one's going to be pretty. This one's going to be pretty. And I just used the fan brush. So just a minute. I know where a sponge is. A craft sponge. I just had it out the other day in my stamp making box. I cleaned my stamp making box out, and I did get rid of some things, but I didn't get rid of everything. Just a few things. And then this sponge, I will probably just take it into the kitchen, and Joe can use it to clean the sink with. We could take it into the bathroom, clean the kitchen, clean the bathroom sink. It'll be nice and pretty and fresh. And look, it's going to fit. Is it going to fit? It's going to barely fit in this. I can cut it. These are just regular sponges from Walmart, kitchen sponges. And they're kind of hard, but they get soft when you get them wet. So it's going to fit right down there, and it's going to soak up all that bleach that I have in there. And we'll add some more. Or I can flip this one over. So, Doretha's here. Angela, have you mailed me your stamps yet? Today's the deadline for mailing your stamps. You've got till midnight to get them in the mail. So I'm just going to flip this over, and it's not wet all over, but we'll put some more bleach on it. I'm just going to go real slow. It may not work if it doesn't have enough bleach in it. It might absorb all the bleach and won't let me get my stamp wet. Would somebody go over and message Michelle Glitter for me? I would love you forever if you did. She might be busy. She might be having dinner. Oh, thank you, Pam. Thank you, honey. Get her over here. She's the one who started it. So I'm putting quite a bit of bleach on here since we've got it. And like I said, we'll clean the sink with this sponge afterwards so it won't go to waste. So I've got this coffee cup that Sharon sent me, and I'm going to try it. I don't know if this is going to work. Hi, Belinda. Come on in. So we'll do this one again, too. We'll do it. Now, these are kind of dry over here. Uh, you can see it's dry. But that one turned out really good. And I did that with the fan brush. So we might have to go back to the fan brush. Uh-huh. And I can use this on my pilot. Okay. I'm just scooting things around a little bit so they can sort of have some room. All right, let's try this. Might have to put some more bleach on it, in it. And we are going to do the prompts for the 100-day challenge. Prompt a day. Now, I can't see a lot of that, but I do see an outline. So we'll just, oh, look, it's already lightening up. Okay, okay. I still feel like it needs more moisture on the sponge. Of course, it's all going down to the bottom of it. We could flip it, keep flipping it over. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Oh, it worked. It worked. It worked. See if I can do it again. And I'm going to flip this over. Yeah, the flower did. And I used the fan brush. Hi, Becca. Are you going to come on tonight, Becca? I was hoping you and Dana would come on after me. And I've got to get a picture of last night's prompts. So we're stamping with bleach. We are. Stamping with bleach. And I think I like well, I don't know. That looks awful good over here on the brown too. So, and I'm just raking it across the top. Trying to make sure it's not going to get goopy on me. So, there's Michelle. Look, I'm stamping with bleach, Michelle. Look. That one's going to be good. Some of the words might be a little off, but I think it's going to be good. So you can see how I'm doing it and this was a second print off of that one. It was a second one. I went and dabbed actually I went and dabbed this. But that's okay. So I'm gonna get another stamp. It's disinfecting everything, which would be good. I got some baby feet. So let's see if we can get some baby feet. I'm gonna flip my sponge. So it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Yeah, the feet are gonna be good. Hi, Constance. We are we are stamping tonight with bleach. As soon as I get these 2 pages, um, no, I didn't get her name. Um, if you have it, you're welcome. The where I got this from, it was on a YouTube video, and I did not get her name. So there's that. I'm going to put that over here, and then I want to do this one. And this is a music one, and I can put it all the way across the bottom. I'm going to turn my paper upside down so you all can see, and we'll put it right there. So let's see if I can do it. It looks like it will. Love it. I'm going to love it. If I do have the video, I can put it in my Facebook group if anybody wants to watch her do it, because we know it works. Now I got it wet with the sponge, and then I raked it one time with my fan brush and bleach. It got a lot of it. There was a little bit here that it didn't really get. I'll have to push harder. So I'm going to put this, but it's going to work. It's going to work. Let the fan blow on it a second. And I'll flip this one upside down. So I'm being very careful and not trying to make a mess. I'm going real slow. Going slow. Making some music. And of course, there might be a little bit of ink on here that I know their feet are cute. Little toesies. This one worked out really good. Look at that. That is good. That is real good. I want to do some more of the daisies. I just raked across it. It's not drippy. I'm not dripping. Is everybody doing okay? Uh, my breathing is fine. I've got a big fan on, blowing directly on me, and then I have a ceiling fan on high that is blowing everything around in the room. So I like this little flower too. So I'm gonna do the feet over here again. Get another pair of feet. I love the little feet. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna do another row of daisies here. It's gonna be one of my favorites. And this was just random stamps that I got out of the storage over there. I know, I do too. And if you tear them out and then ink the edges, oh, it's gonna be perfect. I don't think I'm going to be able to use these. Tried to make, a feathered fan, but nah. And this bike didn't turn out good, but this one did. You can see the spokes, and you can see the spokes on this one. All right. And I do have glasses on, so that helps it from getting in my eyes. Thank you. Thank you, Melissa. I mean, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle, for doing that. And you put it in the group. That'll be great. Woohoo! We, Creatively Yours is her name. Oh, that's cute. All right, that's a full page. Okay, so these can be patted off and they're clean, and I don't think they're going to hurt anything. And as far as the rubber goes, they're not going to hurt anything. And I can put these back up, and I have all my stamps are in different drawers. So I have a flower stamp, and I have a people stamps. This would be the people, and I have the flower stamp, and then I have an animal stamp, and that's where all insects go and all animals go, because insects is close to animal I can get to for sorting my stamps. And then I have a drawer for words, and then I have this will probably go down into the words, and there's an empty drawer down there that I have objects in. And then this would go into words. It's like music paper. Soft scrub bleach to do this too? I bet so. I bet so. And I'm going to put my brush back in my water, and that's going to keep it from stinking. I usually when my rinse water, my paint water, I always put a squirt or two of bathroom soap, hand soap in it, or a little bit of mouthwash, and a little bit of alcohol, or a little bit of the bleach. I don't normally use bleach, but that's what I'm doing with the brush, and it won't hurt a thing. And I'm going to put my spoon in the bleach as well. This will go into the kitchen. I'll just send all of this to the kitchen, the rest of this. And Joe can clean the sink. He can clean the sink with it. So I'm going to put this over here out of the way for safekeeping. And I'm going to go ahead and put my stamps away. And then I'll get the black one. It fell down here on the floor on my way back. All right. That was fun. That was really fun. So let's see. We've got little flower, and music will go with it. All right, that was really fun. So, if you want to do something different than ink, or if you don't have any ink, there you go. And you can use a fan brush or a sponge. I will say that the sponges didn't do very dark. They're not very dark. This was done with the fan brush. And this one I just didn't press down hard enough. But this one turned out real good. These two bikes, this flower, see, and you can go back in. You can find a brown pencil or just a regular pencil or a gray pencil, and you can go in and color your your daisy back out if it didn't, you can fill it in a little bit and color it just a little bit if you want. Well, you could color all of it for Pete's sake. So if it didn't come out all the way, you can add it in, and I can do the same thing with that music note. Some things you can do it to, but the a brown pencil or a gray pencil would work for this. And then you have four flowers without, this one not being very dark. So if your stamps don't come out dark enough, you can always try to spruce them up. Now I don't think that I might be able to do the cup with a pencil, but I don't think I can do all of the little words. But I might be able to do the coffee. So you see how I made the coffee cup? So F, F, O, and I reconstructed the coffee. And you can't see the other words, but you can see that it's a coffee cup. So that worked. So you can always work something out. So this one's sort of okay, but I like this one better. You can see all of the spokes. And of course the little feet, they look real. They look real. So, I guess I'll put this in the stamp box, and if anything comes up and I don't have enough of something, but I think I'm going to have plenty of everything, this could be used as a part of the giveaway. Somebody might get one of those. So, several of them, they all turned out good. So let's see, where's my list? We're going to do 100 days next. So I did the black paper, and so let's do our. I need to go over to Becca's channel and uh, get her channel up, turn down, and go to yesterday's. And yesterday was, let's go with, it was alive. I'm thinking this was it. She streamed by herself because we were busy. And then we did the tandem last night. Oh, good. Here's a list of them. Let's see, 3, 4. Oh, she's showing them, so I'm going to take a picture of it right at the exact moment when I can see all of them. She's got them all wadded up, straighten them out. She's saying, oh, there she used the blue paper. She used the wrapping paper. botanical. Took her forever to glue all of her botanicals down, but they certainly look good. There's the rubber band. She used a rubber band and she flipped it. She flipped the rubber band and flipped paint onto her page. It was really quite interesting, so you all should go over and watch it. I'm just watching for her to put the prompts in a row. Let's see if I can't speed. Oh, there. I'm going to freeze. There. Let's see if I can get that bigger. Good, good. And then I'll take a picture of that. Like that. And then I can, these are the prompts. These are one of the prompts we're going to do tonight. So I'll get my 100-day book out and we're going to do prompts. So I'm not really worried about the numbers because we have done, this was from Sunday, and then this was Mondays, and then tonight, did she tell me if she was going to do uh, if she's going to stream tonight at 9 o'clock? It, Becca, are you? Oh, hey Dana, you want to go live with me after Beth? And Dana's here. Sure, she says. Great. So I'm going to do two right now. So the first prompt is, and I'm working on day 20, and then this will be 21 for me. But it doesn't really matter the order. It's all that matters is that you play. Just play. Enjoy yourself. So can you see this right here? Because this is what I'm working on. It's a half a page. Okay. Thank you, Janet, for putting all those links in. That's wonderful. So we're going to play on this one here, and then I've got the picture for that one here in a minute. So the first one is postage stamps, and I just so happen to have some postage stamps. So let's see what we can do with some of these. And see, this is a Christmas tree with palm trees, and it was beside the postage. It was beside the ink on the postage stamp, but I saved a little picture. It's part of the postage stamp, the stampage. This looks like it's a England because it's got the Queen on there. So we'll put that one there. I can't tell what that is. Here's a little kitty cat. Here's a Santa Claus. We're not going to be prejudiced. Here's a snow globe. American flag. We've got grapes. We've got fireworks. And we've got hummingbirds. So is that going to be enough? So I'm just going to push these all up here and get some gluage down here. I think this is empty. So I found Piglet the other day. Piglet is my little palette knife. I was going to try to make a pig out of the polymer clay, and I just didn't do a very good job at it. So I just smushed it on because the handle broke off of it, and I made a new handle, and then I just named him Piglet. So a lot of you all know who Piglet is. So I used a little bit of glue out of there, get the rest of it out. Since we spend all our money on glue, it's kind of nice to recycle a little bit of it. So let's see if we can't, we don't need this anymore. We're going to put some of these stamps on here. A little bit here and a little bit there. That one up there and that one over there. And this one down here. So there's my stamps. And these are stamps that I get off of my mail that I put in here. I tear them off. And I put them in here. And I stick them up there with my credit cards. Now it says add paint. And then we're going to have to shut the page. So this is how that works. Let me get a collar that I haven't used in a long time. Let's get something down here. That's awful soupy. I need some thick paint. Let's try this when it's thick. So we're just going to do a couple of little blobs of paint. Just a little bit. Add paint. And then we're going to shut the book. And I'm just going to fold this one over on top. And we're going to smush it. Now you can just go ahead and rip this right up, back up, or you can sit here and rub it for a minute. It's your choice. You know, Candy, I've had some feelings of sinus pressure. I've not been sneezing. I sneezed last night 4 or 5 times. Don't know where it come from. But I have taken an allergy pill, but it's been raining and thundering around here. So the advantage of this is I've been doing my prompts on half pages. So I'm going to do this now. I'm going to do this one next, and this will be for tomorrow. And it'll already have a base. So that's the advantage. So we did that one. Now we're going to draw 3 shapes with your non-dominant hand. So I'm going to dry this. This one looks like a leaf. This one looks like a bee, a bumblebee. All right, I'm going to use my Big Magic marker for this one. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to make a square. Are you all coordinated with your non-dominant hand? So there's a square. Then we'll make a circle. And I'm going to try to do a star. So you go up this way, this way, this way, and this way. Wow, that turned out real good. There's my 3 shapes with my non-dominant hand. It says stickles or glitter glue. I've got lots of gold glitter glue that Joe bought me a new bottle. The same, yep, same one. So we'll try to use some of this up. And I think I'll just go over all of it. Oops, the cap broke off. Let's see, how about if I go around my shapes? Of course, it's going to take forever to dry. But we're not going to complain. All right. Thank you, Dorisa. So the next one is, oh, a piglet knife. We already used piglet when we put the glue on. Do I have to do it again? So what can I do with my piglet? Let's see. Do we want to do more paint? I might be able to spread this paint out some, but I dried it. Nope, it's dried, almost dried. It's just tacky. So, shall I put some more paint down and then spackle it, or put the paint on the spackle? Scrape and make marks. So I'm gonna put a little bit of gray. I just picked it out. I have no idea why. So I got some paint, and my paper goes all the way up to there, so I can scratch some paint up here. Oh look, it touched the glitter glue. But that's what I did. Didn't say how much I had to do. So that's what I did. Now it says to collage. So I've got some textbook paper here. So how about if I collage some of this down? Just random. I might need to put a little bit of glue down, a little wet glue. I left the lid off of this last night, so it's a little clogged. Just a little. Okay. Let's try that. have to cover a whole lot up, just a little. Just a little collaging. How about that? Another one there. Okay, that worked out pretty good. We collaged, and the other thing that we can do is um, take our paintbrush and put a little bit of glue on top of each one of those, and we'll glue it down, collage it down like we would with Mod Podge. And that'll help hold it all down. Just a little tacky glue there. Of course, I'm just using glue all. That's all I use nowadays. So I pasted them down a little bit so they'll stay. And then it says numbers. So I'm going to dry this a little bit. So it said some numbers. Now you can draw your numbers, or I have a little box of numbers right here that I'm going to use, and I'm going to put them right up at the top. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there. That's good for the numbers. That was easy. For some reason these catch. There it goes. A little box of numbers. I really like those. Okay. 10 things that you love. 10 things that I love. I'm going to get the dryer out again and dry this. Okay, so I've got a really cool pen that works. This is the this is the I think I've got two of these that work. The rest of them don't work. These Mate Hop, Matty Hop, Pentel artist pencils. Not a fan, and I think it might be my weather. That's all I can only say. So so it works pretty good. So I'm going to use this pen. So I'm going to write on these little pieces of papers and a couple of stamps. I'm going to put joy on Santa Claus. I love the word joy and what it represents. And I love Joe. I'm going to put Joe on here. I could put Joe on there 10 times because I love him 10 times more than anything else. I can put Nora and Kitty and my family and my YouTubers, because I love all you guys. And 10 things that I love. I love anything with art, anything to have to do with art. I love the color blue. It's my color. I got changed out this week. Uh, what is something else that I love, guys? I need two more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 things that I love. Blue. I love blue. I do love palm trees. Very good. And yes, Becca, I love you. I said YouTubers, my YouTubers. Janice says stickers. Okay, I love stickers. Who doesn't like stickers? And I'll put Becca on here too, just so that she doesn't feel left out. 10 things I love. Okay. The next one, we're on number 9. It's markers. Use your markers. Magic markers. Let's see if I got any. How many I got over here? I've got some of these pen. Is this like a marker? It's a pen. One of those pens. And then it says to outline items on my page. So I'm going to do that with my marker. So I'm going to combine it. And this one looks like a leaf. So we'll make it into a leaf. And I still say this one looks like a bumblebee. Make it an extra wing. I need uh, one of those paint pens. There's a bumblebee in my leaf. And I can outline all of these pieces of paper. Do a little decoration. Okay. And that's it. That's it for this one. I just get to put the date on there. And the date will go right there at the bottom till it prints out. Okay, so that was that one. That's good. That's all we need of that. So we will go on to the next game, and it is on my phone in the pictures. The first one is gift wrap. Gift wrap. And I'm going to use this fancy, I had some fancy tissue paper that I found on my desk. I'm going to use it. I'm going to use this as my gift wrap, fancy tissue paper. So I'm just going to put it right there. Let me find my glue stick. Like that. And here is the wonderful thing about this Coptic Stitch book is that you can go all the way to the very edge, inside edge of your paper. It won't hurt it. Because that's just one of the good sides of it. So that's one gift wrapped. The next one says add swirls. Excuse me. Now I'm starting to sneeze. All right. I'm going to get my gold pen out. I like my gold pen. So let's see if we can't do some swirls with my gold pen. Like that. How many gold swirls do we want? Is that enough? Gold swirls. And then the next one is colored pencils. So we can do that. What color do we want? This one's just sharpened. Dark umber. So I'm going to do some little coloring here on some of my swirls. Like that. And the glue isn't dry. There's some glue on there. Okay, there's brown. Let's try this purpley blue here. Just goofing off. No rhyme or reason. Using pencils. Just random. Uh-oh. My glitter glue is still not wet. Still not dry yet. Alrighty. Looking good. Looking real good. And we'll go with, there's a light purple. Just coloring, randomly coloring. Okay, there's an orange. Should I stop now? Is that enough? Oh, Janice is running to the store. Okay. Thank you, Janice. Be careful. Watch for cars. And then I have this. I have a green. Let's use a green one on here. See if we can't fill in some of these empty spots. And then I think we need one more. One more color. Maybe a red. We need red. We've got just a few more empty spots. And we'll fill them in with red. like that. All right. Those look kind of cute, don't they? Okay, I think that'll work right like that. So there's my pencils. Then back over there. And colored pencils. Cover page in a dark color. Cover the page in a dark color. Color. Hmm. All right. I'm going to try to color the page in a dark color. I'm going to try to use chalk. I love this blue teal. So I'm just going to rub chalk all over the top of my page. And it's covered the whole page with a dark teal. I love my swirls, guys. They really make the page. Okay, I used a dark color, and then it says botanical. And I did find my die cut book last night after the fact. And I bet you I have some botanicals in there that I can use. And I've got my die cuts already cut out in here, and a lot of this is Happy Mail, guys. People that have sent me stuff. There's a bunch in here. There's bees and butterflies. There's a mushroom. I needed that last night. In there, I'm looking for botanical. Those could be leaves. I got some feathers. I think it needs to be a plant. So we're looking for some plants. There's a flower. There's a sticker flower. That's botanical. There's two botanicals. There's a tree. I could use that and stencil. There is some women, a balloon, some more feathers. We should do something with feathers someday. Botanical. Teresa gave me a lot of these. Keys, music, more feathers, tickets, leaves. That's botanical. Do we have enough? Will that work? So let's see, where are we going to put? See, I've got botanical on there, really. I think these are like doubled, and they go like that. I think that's the way they go. So that looks good. So let's get this down with this. Like that. So that goes on there. Good. And then we'll put some glue on the back. And I got a flower. So everybody doing okay? Y'all talking about food. Mm-mm. We had pulled pork barbecues, and Joe had some chicken left in the fridge, and I mixed the chicken. He put the chicken in with the rest of the pulled pork because it was kind of juicy, and and it was good. I couldn't tell the difference between the pork or the chicken. It was good. Okay, the last one. There's our botanical. And trace your hand. Oh my. I want to put a little bit of glue down on these. These flowers aren't going down too good on the chalk. I think the glue stick just picked up the chalk. It didn't really glue down. Just didn't do too good. So we're going to glue it down this way. So let's try that. Hope and pray it sticks. And then we'll draw my hand. And I'll use my little pen to do that with that. Place your hand. So we'll see if that'll work. And I'm going to try to just dab off a little bit of that chalk because it's just sitting there. It's not attached. Because I got quite a few more things to do. And you can't tell that I took it off. I mean, you still see it, so that's good. Okay, so I'm going to draw my hand. I kind of want to do it with a thinner, but I can do, may not get all of it on there. Oh, look, I can get 4 of my fingers on there, and they can end up in the swirls. So let's see if I can do this without getting ink on my hands. I feel wetness. So that's off the page. So there's part of my hands. And I'll go, oh gosh. I keep getting into the glitter glue over here. It feels awful. But we're going to do it. I'm going to be glittery tonight. I will be taking a shower. So I always like to do my nails. And so there's my hand. And here are my nails. I've done a lot of hands in my lifetime. It's like it's a popular thing to do in any kind of Bible study and any kind of children's church or VBS or hands or you can do all kinds of artsy things with your hands. Okay, we did the hands. The next one is rubber bands. Now, I have lots of rubber bands, and Becca, she dipped it in paint and then she flipped it onto the page. She had paint splattered everywhere, and I have an empty roll that I had yesterday, and I threw it away. I've even got a bigger one. Bigger or little? Let's take a little one. This was off of some paper that I had, and I threw it away. So I'm going to take my rubber bands and put it on there, and then we'll roll it in paint and onto the page. And as you can see, I've got ink on all of the edges of my fingers. I'm a mess, but I'm going to be okay, I promise. So you take a couple of rubber bands and do something like that. And then you get your ink, your thing over here. And I think I'm getting my glitter glue dried now. It's spread out a little bit and it looks okay, but it's still wet. Whew. So let's get some paint in this. And I'm going to go with like red, something that'll show up on top. Cardinal red. There's not much in here, so let's see if I can get the rest of it out. Might not be able to get anything out. Not a thing. It's coming down. It's dried out. Okay. This one is retired. This is color shift red. Metallic glaze. Oh, what's this one? Well, that's pink. Well, pink would work. Let's use that. So I'll push everything over here and make a line. A line. I need a line like that. And then I can roll my rubber bands in that. Like that. Now, I've seen people do this, but they had a roller for it. And I'm going to have to use my hands to roll it. And I need more paint. These little things are in my way. Let's put them over there on that tray. Get out of my way. So, Becca's got a kitty cat. I think my kitty cat's outside. So let's get some more paint out. And it's silly to use this much paint for just one little roll, but that's just the way it's going to be. That's just the way it is. So the idea of this is it's going to have a rubber band lines going across the page. So we'll see how it works. So I'm going to start down here and I'm going to roll it. How's that look? Got some markings on there, and no, I'm not keeping it. And no, I'm not doing anything else with it. Keep everything on that half of the page because this is going to be tomorrow's game. Oh my gosh. It's funny. Okay. That's all right. So we're going to dry that and let's see what the next prompt is. Rubber bands. And then it says a beak. A beak. A bird has a beak. So can we put a bird on it? I got a little corner up here. I've got a little bird. A beak. A beak. Let's see. A koala bear has a beak. There's a little bluebird right here. And I'm going to put him up there in that corner. That's what we're going to do. Pam says, I will be doing my first live, the Ginger Cat Lady ladies' craft table on Friday, July the 18th. And we'll get uh, one of the girls to put your channel link in there so we can all subscribe to you and get notifications. That's the best way to do it. And we can also put uh, July 18th down. And you're going to have a guest. Your guest is going to be Carrie from Thumbprint Creations by Carrie. Okay. Sounds like a wonderful plan. So I cut my bird. I'm going to trim it out a little bit. And this bird does have a beak. I could have just cut out an orange beak and put the beak by itself. I don't know that I've ever seen a beak without the bird. But this is fine. So we're going to put this little bird right there. If I can find my glue stick. Pam, I think that is awesome. Now, and I want you to, Pam, I want you to announce it every time I come on. Wait till there's a bunch of people in the room and announce it again. Every time I come online, you are invited to, and you can also post that since you're not selling anything. You can post that in my Facebook group because you're not selling. You can put any kind of art in my Facebook group, anything that you make, any kind of an art video, like the video that Michelle shared with us. You could put it in my Facebook group. And if you don't belong to the Facebook group, well, you need to ask. You have to ask, and ye shall receive. You have to ask to join my group. And it's a Facebook group, and it's a private group. It's just for members, and we have a private address file for just us, not the whole world. Nobody can get in that file unless they're a member in my group, and you have to be, active to join in. So, and I will accept you after the show. Uh, if you're not a member yet, I will accept you. But you're allowed, if you do sell, you're allowed to say something in the chat room. By all means, share it there. I know a lot of girls sell and they're allowed to talk about it in the chat room. I just don't sell in Facebook because I've gotten a lot of people, they've dropped their sales ads and then they never come back. They use me for for their benefit, and it's not for their benefit. It's our group. So that's why I don't sell in the group. And I was advised to do it that way when I first started streaming back in 2019. I was advised to do it that way when I had some people help me get my Facebook group started, and they still help me. They still work it for me. So I got people working for me. Okay, so I got a beak. What's the next one? We're getting there. The beak. I got two more. A woman or man, and then a newer graphic design. Okay. A woman or man. And the only thing I can think of is this one that Margaret's. We'll go ahead and get this. And we'll get this woman and man. It says woman or man. So that would be good to use in here. How about that? He looks like he might have a headache. I wonder why they would make a make a stamp like that. Unless there's some words that go with it. Some kind of funny words. But I don't think I have a man. I've got children, but I don't have a man stamp. But I got this guy, so he can go on there. And I'm going to put her on there too. They're unusual. They're different. She looks like she's going to the horse races or something, but I've never seen anybody with a garbage can on their head. I've seen flower pots. What was it, the Kinks? Was it the Kinks that sang and they or the Cars and they wore flower pots on their heads like aliens? Yeah. She says, "You better straighten up or I'm going to hit you in the head with my hat. I'll give you a headache." That's what she's saying. She's saying, "You better straighten up. Better straighten up." Esther's been in the balcony. Thank good. That's perfectly fine. Nothing wrong with that. Devo. Yes. I was close, Janice. Thank you, Janice, for keeping me in line. But when when those that era, I was never into um, buying records. Didn't have the extra money to buy records. I started working when I was 17 at the hospital, and then I got married when I was 18. And so we had an apartment and we had bills, our food and our utilities. And then by the time I was 19, we bought a house. So I didn't have any extra money for records. I sure didn't. But we had cars and we had to buy gas uh and I had a garden at one time. I store my apples and my potatoes under the house. Bye, Becca. So the last thing is art is a neurographical design, and I think I'm going to do that in my hand in my fingers. So I'm going to. That was that sticker. It didn't glue down. I'll have to glue it back down. Since there's so much paint, I'm going to see if I can't do any neurographical designs on the people since they're in black and white. And it'd be cool if I had a red pen to do it with. See if this one will work. One of these pens, I lost the nib off of it. So when we did our neurographical designs, we would do shapes. So I'm going to use this oval as a shape, and you go in and you do a loop, and then you go out on another edge, and then you cross your lines and go out on the other side. And that's a neurographical design. And then you go into each of the joints and you don't want any hard, everything's curved on the joints. And it looks like a neurosynapses if you're into anatomy, the neurosynapses. And then in between the neurosynapses is how the energy connects to the feelings and that's how it works, guys. Gotta know your anatomy. But we get rid of these curvy uh, joints like that. So that is a neurographical design right there. It is. And I can do another one here. And I can show you some bigger ones if you've never seen or experienced neurographics. I can show you I've got a book that's close by that I can show you how to do that. But that's my neurographic design. And that's the last one. And I love to work in this book, but it's a book that I don't use very often, but I do get it out from time to time. So I'm going to set this over to let it dry. I'm going to put the date on it. And then tonight, when Beckett comes on, I'll put those prompts on this next page. This is my next page. And this book was made out of the grocery bags from the grocery market. And that's how I made my book, out of grocery bags. So it was cheap to make. It was free. And didn't cost me any paper or nothing. And then the cardboard was a box of graham crackers. So here's all my 100 days. So I'll be doing this and we're she said, what did she say? There's 20 and 21, and so we're like 20% done out of 100. So we got 80 more to go. So that's pretty cool. So I'm going to sit this over here and let it dry. And this is my neurographic book. And I should put one of these on there. I'm still decorating it. I'm going to turn my hot glue gun on. And we'll come back to that. So anyway, here is some of my neurographical designs. This was a stencil, and then my neurographics was basically doodling in each one of these flowers and leaves. Now here, this is a good one. Okay, I had 5 circles. And anytime you see the joints that go together and they make this shape here, this funny looking triangle shape, that is the neurographic design. It's kind of an art form that you use scientifically, and it's supposed to relax your mind and make you just, it's supposed to be soothing for you to do this type of work. But that's just one example. And then I was coloring things. And then this was another grid. This is called grid art. GRID, grid art. And I don't remember the lady that invented it or started it, but we gave her lots and lots of credit when we did this. But a grid is you have some squares. Each square gets something. Each square gets a stamp. Doesn't have to be the same stamp. Doesn't have to be in the same position. Each each uh, each block got numbers, and I put numbers in here from a puzzle book. Anywhere you want on there, numbers. Each one got a green triangle, and and um, and I wrote down the grid journaling. This was back in 23. We recycled tape. Let's see, tape. Recycled tape roll. Okay, that was a circle. The tape roll was a circle. Recycled tape roll. Gotcha. Ink circles. Uh, Red tie dye, and it must have been some paint that I had, and I just dabbed it on each page. Cobalt blue chalk. That's what this is, and it'll probably rub off. It's chalk, that cobalt blue chalk. Numbers, the green triangle, flower petals. I guess that was the tie dye. I made the flower petals with the tie dye and a US stamp. So you can do your grids on any size paper, but these are just so happen to be the size of an ATC, which is an artist trading card. These are also grids, and I used a playing card to draw the square. And here's I've written all of the prompts on the edge of the paper that I used on each one of these grids. And you can cut these up and use them for an ATC swap. Here's another grid, and I got four going up and down, and four going across, or two going across. And here's all of the prompts for these. And you can pull your prompts from your prompt jars to get to do this. I like finding things for the focal. I love putting a focal, like the girls. And then, like these girls over here, I used stickers. These are stickers. And then this focal point on this was the stamp. So it's fun. They're fun to do. And these were bookmarks, but they were done in the grid format. That's what all this book is. It's all grids. Here is another kind of type of grids in different shapes, and they're all throughout the book. I had jumbo cards, and Lisa Conway, she started overlapping them. She goes, "Wonder if you could do it. Why not?" And I don't know, why not. So she did it, and I started overlapping, and that's fun. That's fun to do. And then this one I messed up. This one was so good. It was all black and white, and I put varnish uh, glue on top of it, and it smeared the black. The black was not archival. It was not an archival black ink pen. So I learned on this to always use archival ink when you do these, so that if you want to go over top of it with a varnish, you can. These are all done in stickers. This was so fun. Um, I have a box over there that I used to take to the nursing home 20 years ago. I used to do art at the nursing home, and I would ask everybody in church, everybody I knew, to save me their address pictures off of your address return address. I wouldn't keep the address. I just kept the pictures. And that's what all these most of these little tiny squares are. They're from return address stickers. And I'd take them to the nursing home, and they would sit and make a flower out of those stickers, or they'd make a Christmas tree, or one girl, she just did it all the way across. She did the same. She'd get whatever one she had the most of. She'd do it all the way across. She'd get another kind, and she'd put them all the way. I mean, she did it just like lines of numbers. Whatever they wanted to do was perfectly fine. Hi, Christy. Hi, honey. Come on in. And so here's what I did, but I've never got to color it. And these were like doodles. And I used the doodle cards. And I have a deck of doodle cards. Here's those girl stamps. And I put one in each of the hearts. And it was just an art page. And I did this with Dana back in July of 23. And then here I did girls. And we made we put hair in there. We put hair braids in their hair. This little girl's got pigtails, and she's a spoon. She's one of those wooden spoons. And I put a dress on her and a bow. And then this girl down here, this is Kelly Ripa. And she told a joke, and she goes, "Did y'all hear that?" And she put her hand over her mouth, and she's got a little braid in her hair. And I sat right here and braided that braid out of embroidery thread. You could see it. And she laughs, and she's got a brad on her hand, but she laughs, puts her hand over her mouth when she laughs. So, your art is your art. Now, here's another one of the same things from before, but you do the same thing on each page. And it was a doodle. There was splatter, and I splattered over everything. There was, of course, the girls, and I think I had stamps. Maybe somebody sent me these stamps. But all of the girls are different. And then I did doodled, and I did squiggly marks, and then I did scrapbook paper, you know, on those. I did that with Dana. These are kind of funny. These are just ovals, different sizes of ovals, and I don't remember how I come up with this design, and then I drew lines all the way around it and colored different colors and made it like a rainbow around it. But that's what I did to that one. I don't remember. And then this one was different stamps that I had um, in my stamps. And this was done with Becca and Dana. And there's all kinds of little things on here. And we had prompts that we did on here. But they all turn out different, when you start working on them. This was a bingo night. I used to play bingo, and there were several girls who had the bingo cards, and then I'd get a number and I'd look it up on a chart, and that there was a prompt for that number, and I would do the prompt on here. This one's ready to go. I've got several ATC cards in here. So it's fun to do. It's fun to have an art book, that you just do certain things in. Um, you get an idea, and you just start making patterns in your book, uh, like this and this. You just start drawing patterns, and then you get an idea. Oh, I want to do spider webs, or I want to do palm trees, or I want to do hearts, and then and I did backgrounds, and then these are all ready to do the grids on, to work with the grids. And here's another one that's ATC size. It's a popular, and it's easy, and it looks nice. So I do those a lot. So this was like a color wheel. Everything's got the color wheel. Everything's got all the colors. So, and then all of these shapes I've got in a pocket up at the front is where I keep my shapes. All of these cards are in a shape. And this was something that I did differently. And I don't remember, the prompt was sunflower. And see, this was the opposite page. And I did a bigger sunflower over here to match the sunflowers here. So uh, but it was another with prompts. There were sunflowers, a staircase. These are supposed to be steps. A break dance, and I was doing. You know how you do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I was doing dance steps. Was my break dance. A penguin. There's a penguin, and a swan. There's a swan. So so you can see, and these were probably uh, this is March 2025. I swear I don't remember doing it, but we did it this year. But I probably got the words from you guys. This was a Christmas one, and I used a lot of Christmas fabric, and I made 4 grids. So it said a blue napkin, a plaid, Ricky Rack, a Santa, some holly, a sticker, and a button. And they're on there. They're all on there. So over here, I should paint a Santa Claus to match the Santa Claus. So that's how this book is. And so as you can see, I'm over halfway through this book, and so I've got another year or two left in this book, and it's been a fun book. I really, when you get this many things done, under your belt, um, there's just such a good feeling to have the art book and to have all of that underneath. And there's still a lot of more pages that I can work on and do stuff. So if I had to do something from this page, I should paint a lady over here and match her to these ladies. And this page should have a great big doodle, a great big rectangle shape, and do a big card over here. And your imagination just goes with you sometimes. And I can do this whole page in stickers. I've got enough stickers to do it in. And I should do it. So this book will always, will always have things to do in this book. So here I did the palm tree, and then here it is, the palm tree over here. But I don't think it's finished because I don't have any leaves on it. I probably ran out of time and said, "Oh well, we'll do it next time," because I didn't even put the date on there. So this would be something we can come back to finish someday. So here I did these cards, and then I did this one big card as one big card. And here are the prompts are right down here. So I could look at this book all day. I would love to do something in it, but we're going to move on. So we did all. Let's see. Let me get my. We got on a rabbit trail, didn't we? So we did. We did our 100 days times 2. Uh, I'm showing books. I'm showing our books, and one of the thing I was wanting to do is to work on some of the stencils that I've already received. So if y'all want to do this book sometime, remind me. It's right here by my feet at all times. We can always we can we can do it at any time. But some of these stencils that Margaret sent me, instead of sending this whole page to somebody, I would rather cut this out and give him the strips and save on the weight. We are going to have to superly cut down on our postage. I sent out a swap yesterday that I was doing with Aunt Beck, and I think Joe said, there was 7 or 8 envelopes, and it was $40. And the lady at I should have did it my way and put the stamps on them and weighed them here and sent them out in the mailbox. But I thought, well, I'll just send Joe to the post office and he can take care of it. Well, it didn't go our way. It was very expensive. But that was my I'm not going to say fault, but what happened was we were doing a swap, and Becca said, well, you guys have your partner, that you are to mail to. But she said, but Becky said, but I'm going to be mailing something to all of you. So she was mailing to the whole group, and I think there was 8 of us. And so it was like, okay. And then another girl says, well, I'll mail to everybody. And somebody else said, well, I'll mail to everybody. And I thought, okay, I'll mail to everybody. But they were using fabric that was flat. And I was using things like this that was textured. And they made me send mine as a package, Pam. Exactly. That's what happened. So, it's okay. It's all done. But I'm just going to have to start uh, making better choices on when I mail, when I'm going to mail out. So that's what I'm going to, and I'm not going to do very many packages anymore. I'm going to start um, just doing envelopes, one stamp, and making everything just paper. I can't do anything crafty in my envelopes, and it's breaking my heart because it's ruining it for all of us crafters. It's just ruining everything. But yeah, like I said, we're going to have to, and I don't mind doing it every now and then. I can afford to do it, but I can't do it every week, or I shouldn't do it every week, and I shouldn't. And I have cut back on prizes. I used to, do prizes all the time, and I've cut back on those, and I'm doing like, a page of stickers, or something like that. So, uh, but there's nothing else that we can do. The only other thing that I can do to substitute is to just come online some more, and just be online with you more and spend more time. And I can do that. It won't cost me nothing to do that. So that's my other option, is to stream another day. I stream 3 days a week, which is more than what a lot of people do. So I should. So but I could stream another day, and I stream with Becca and Dana all the time. And it gets tiring, when you're streaming every day. You do get tired. And so I don't know how many of these extras I'll be able to send. But you see how I'm cutting the man and the woman. I'm cutting them out. And that's going to be a lot lighter than sending the whole page. So that's how I'm cutting back on that. And he's saying, this is just giving me a headache. That's what he's saying. Woe's me. So if I trim them out, I save on weight. And because I'm just going to send, I am going to send 5 back. I'll send 5 back. But these that I'm cutting apart will be extra. So I have a scale, and I will weigh your each one of your envelopes, and I do have some extra stamps if I need to add more. But you all usually, most of y'all put plenty of postage on your return stamps anyway, so that's good. So that's good. So this guy here, a guy and a girl, that's what I'm trying to do. A guy and a girl. So I need about 20. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's 10. And I can send a better girl than that one. I'm trying to send y'all nice ones. Alrighty. So if I can get some of this stuff done, it'll make my sorting go faster. Okay. Here's 3 girls. Alrighty. So Janice, did you go to the grocery store already? That was quick. Must not have been very many people in line. Oh, you're working on your grid journaling and loving it? Did you see what I just showed you? I just showed my grid journaling book. Journal. I just showed it off. Oh man, I was thirsty. So let's see how many guys, girls we got here. Five, six, seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. That's good. 14. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We need 6 more. We got them. We got them. I could probably do better with my bigger scissors. Let's try it. All right. Of course, if I wanted to fussy cut them out, I'm sure you all would not complain. If I were to fussy cut them out. But you'd be surprised just by cutting that little bit of paper off of it, how it will make a difference when you weigh your mail. Because I'm not worried about any of it being heavy. Heavy. Okay, I think that's all of those I need. Let's go to the next picture. These are extras. She sent extras. These are from Margaret. So let's put all of these on the bottom. And this one here, it's pretty. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just have 4 of those, so I'll put them on the bottom, but I've got the girls. I'm sure I'll have 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 18, and 20. So this will be the girls. So that'll be fine. Alrighty. So I'll get some of this done, and I've got some more books over here I can show you that I've done over the years. I started showing you the other day, and I ran out of time, so I said I'll show you some more again this time. I've made a lot of different books, and I have a book on my shelf in here that it's 100 different books to bind, different styles of binding books, and I was going to try to do some of them, but I ran out of time, and I never did get back to that book. But I can show you some of the books that I've done over the years. And I've been wanting to make another Coca-Cola book. I take a 12-pack box, and I tear it up strategically by hand. I rip it, and they're not ripped. They're not all the same height. It's like a waterfall. So you got and that they're all about the same width, which is the width of the carton. And I might have one over here I can show you, but they're all ripped, and then I stack them so that the short is in the front to the tallest in the back. And then you can do anything you want when you make your it's like a junk journal. So I would sew it together, and when I sewed the book that I have together, I sewed it, and then I put wire in the and put beads wrapped around the coil of it. I had lots of fun doing stuff, and I would do sorry ribbon on it, and I would just make it real hobo-y looking. And now Becca's coming on in 30 minutes. She just put her channel up there, so it's 8:30. So I'm going to do the rest of these girls, and then I'm going to show you some books until she comes on, and then you all can go over to Becca's and watch her do her 100-day projects. Okay, I want you to send you over there, and then in about another hour after that, Juju will be on there after her, and Juju's been coming on at night, and she's doing the 100-day project too. She's doing it with us, and there's some other people doing them. So, and you don't have to do every one of them. You can say, well, I'll do one a week. Well, that'd be great. Just do one a week. Your art books will fill up, even if it's one a week. I know I was just cutting out 20 of these. Don't I have 20 yet? But I don't think so. Thank you, Janice. There's Becca's channel. And she does when she does prompt games, she's really good at it. And Dana is good at it. Dana does pretty stuff. Mine, I feel like mine is just rubbish compared to them. One more. But I don't let it, I'm good at other stuff. So, we all can't be great at everything, right? And the whole idea of doing it is when I get finished, that book is going to be so awesome. It is. It's going to be awesome, and it's going to have 100 days of prompts in it, and uh, that's what's going to make it so good. Why can't we do every page? I'm just saying you don't have to if you don't want to. If you don't get to do every one of them, you can do as many as you want. But I'm going to have this awesome book when we get done. I'm going to have this book, and it's going to have all this stuff in it. It doesn't mean a thing to anybody but me, but it's something that I did, and it's not going to be my favorite book I have, but it is something that I've accomplished. I will have accomplished, and it's going over here on the shelf. So these will go into my trays for stamping. See if I can't put a little rubber band around it. So that'll go in the box. So let me show you some of my other books that I was talking about. Let's see if I got one in here from something fun. I showed you the tea bag. This was a good one. I love this book. I think this was a roll book. This was a scavenger book. This was a fun book. This was one of my favorite books. Oh, there was a sketchbook. Okay, that's enough. If I can get through some of these. And no, I don't have enough room. Okay. Okay. This book here was the size of a date book. And it kind of grew and grew. And I had several signatures, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures in there, maybe 6. And the back and front of this was from an envelope of Happy Mail that somebody sent me. They decorated the envelope, and I saved it, and I used it for my book cover. And it might be a name on there. I don't have it. I should write them all down because after a while I forget. So that was the front and the back, and then I sewed in the signatures. I sewed them in, and they are. Let's see what I did with those. See if I can find one here. Yeah, here it is. 2 holes, and I did it 2 holes here. So the string went in each hole and out the back, and I tied a knot at the top for the tassel. And I never did put any beads on it. I need to finish this. Should have finished it. But anyway, it turned out to be a glue book. And as you can see, there's a lot of Happy Mail in here. And there's just something to look at. It's almost like Becca's Chunky book. Every time you look through it, you see something different. And I've got some pockets with some little things in here. And there's all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. Nothing was thrown away. Nothing throw away. Everything was in here if it had any value to it. that had a picture on it that got to put in the glue book. And I left this book on my desk for the longest time, and anything left over, I would put it in here. And it wouldn't be on the same page, it'd be on different pages. And anything on an envelope or a sticker that somebody sent me, and I got some stamping going on in here. And there's the queen right there. Napkins, coloring pages. This was off of somebody's envelope. They doodled on it. And so like this was just an extra, just a great book to have on your desk to glue things in. Painty papers, leftover paint, scraps of paper, pictures out of magazines, stationery, you name it, it's in here. You name it. I don't have too many pockets. There's the boss. He's still the boss. That was my generation. So, oh, and there's an upside down bird. Like I said, it's illegal to have a book that doesn't have at least one upside down thing in it. Yeah, it's illegal. So you always want to make sure you have one thing upside down, because if you don't, the art police will come after you. They'll sign you with a big ticket. There's a tag. Somebody, it's a special day. Somebody sent that to me. So as you can see, it's a really fun book to flip through, and it's got a little bit of everything in there. A little bit of everything. You are amazing. Some coffee dyed paper. So I've made a little cluster here. So that was that book. There's another one that we did some sketchings one time, and it was just for a short period, like a month or so. And so we were doing simple sketches. And so here we go. And this is the kind of book that you wrap your pages in and tie it with a yarn or a rubber band. And so there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures in here. And there's 2 or 3 pages to each yarn, so that they're not overcrowded. You can always add more to this book too. There's room to grow, because as you can see, it's not real thick. There's room to grow in this book still yet. But we learned how to draw this chick. Then we decorated it. We learned how to draw all of these animals, and some of them were done with numbers. You draw a number, and then you make the rest of it. And some of them were just simple sketches. And they're juvenile. These are juvenile. These are beginners. Now here I used. This is supposed to be a lamb, and it's expand paste. If you haven't seen my expand paste, you'll have to holler at me and say, let's see how you use your expand paste. So see, this was just done with a square. These were the numbers. Here's a 2, letter 2, a number 2. This was a number 5. Here's a number 29, 61. This was, I think, a letter 6. So anyway, like I said, these are just sketches, and we would color the page, and it's time for a sketch, and we do it. There's some more in the back that I haven't got finished with. So, but that was the sketchbook. So we did that. This one was one of the scavenger hunts that I did with Janet Young, and so there's 100 prompts in here, and here's the rest of the prompts, and all that was in the front. And then I would do, this is my collect autographs. So I've got Jada, a friend of mine, and a young girl, and Beth. I got my signatures autographed in here. This one's a positive phrase or a quote. Stop, stop asking me to trust you while I'm still sitting, coughing up water from the last time you let me drown. It was a snark. It was like a snark. A page of purple, fingerprint bees. So there's 100. There's 100 of prompts in this book, and I haven't been in it for a while. Strings and ribbon, and I made a heart. Draw a piano keyboard. There you go. A map, a treasure map. A page of balloons. Make a tag from a greeting card. The alphabet collage. A paper doll. This came from a real paper doll. This was the Dagwood outfit. Someone you find attractive. There's a picture of Joe. Use a product you own but you don't use very often, and I used embossing. A beverage label. A secret note. There's a secret note in here. Foil. So you can see the scavenger hunt goes, like I said, there's 100. And I would always do them. Now this year I lost my book, so I didn't get to do 100. And I lost my book. It's in here. So, but anyway, that's all of that I'm going to show at this time. Hi, Joe. After. So here's a couple more books. This one it's got stamps on the front, and I like this book. It's got stamps on the spine, and I don't know what I did to it, but it must be the stamp book. But I just did certain pages in here with just magazine clippings and a line, a word. Pretty scrapbooking paper. And I just glued down an image, did a little, 2 or 3 pieces and a word, and something, words. Push your boundaries. Love. Just keep going. Break the routine. This is a nice book. This is a really nice book. Just simple, and I tried to make it pretty. Treat yourself like a scrapbook. Now I think Becca just came on, so let's go over to Becca's. I showed you these books, and let's go over to Becca's and watch her. Thank you, Laurie. Okay, great. Okay, that's fine. I'll put an M like you're mailed by your name, and that way I'll be looking for them this week. I've got a couple of more that are in the mail too, so you're not the only one. So thank you. So everybody go over to Becca's and let's go see what she's doing. And she'll be laughing about something. So I'll say good night. Good night, everybody.